Everybody, just want to share a quick tip with you. It's something that's working in the marketplace. I was having a really good chat last night with a friend of mine. His name's Sibo. Thanks, Sibo. Great conversation last night. It's definitely sparked this little video. It's a time and tested prospecting activity. It's nothing new. I'm not going to be blowing your socks off today, but I'm just going to be reminding you that the single most important thing that you can be doing for your sales business or for growing your business to generate more leads is to pick up the phone. Time and time again, I hear excuses, and they are bullshit excuses from business owners, from salespeople in my coaching. All these reasons why making phone calls shouldn't be on my list of prospecting activities. Let me rather WhatsApp or email or send out a Facebook post. But ladies and gentlemen, those are really passive prospecting activities. And the reason I mentioned Sibo is he's just moved from one market to another. Now, in real estate sales, they always say one of the most difficult things you can do is move from one city to another and try and sell property, or even to move within a city from one suburb to another. You know, you're changing your sphere of network, you're changing your relationships, you're changing market knowledge, and he's managed to go from one area to another, and he's doing really well, so hats off to you. But when I drilled down on a few questions, it became really clear to me as to why it's become so successful for him in such a short space of time, and that is because he's banging the phone. He's putting in 5 to 10 extra calls every single day, and the other agents in his office aren't doing it, and he's starting to list and make sales. There's another chap in his same market who moved here from the UK. Now imagine moving from the UK to South Africa where you don't know anybody and you're trying to get into property sales. Well, this chap was telling me that that's all he did. He spent time every single day making 20 to 30, sometimes 40 prospecting calls every single day. And he'd finish making his calls and he'd sit back in the office and he'd kind of like look around and he'd be listening and he'd be like, why is the office so quiet? Nobody else is making calls. And in no time, this chap was the #1 agent in his office. I see he's now the #1 agent in his brand in the region, and he's the top selling agent on the estate that he works in, and he moved here from the UK not knowing anyone. So this fallacy, this understanding that you cannot move from one market to another and be successful in sales is rubbish. You can be successful in any market you choose to be. You can move from one country to another and you can build a business. But you have to be committed at doing the single most important prospecting activity that you can do, and the most effective activity is picking up the phone. Stop making excuses as to why making these calls are so difficult. Remove the fear from your mind, and if you're struggling right now with generating leads or making sales, go back and look at how many phone calls you'll be making on a consistent daily basis, and you will uncover the one area where you can improve on your results today. So if you're struggling today, go and make some calls. Make 5 to 10 calls today, whether they're warm or cold. Pick up the phone, and remember, you're not necessarily making the call to close the sale. It's all about relationships, keeping conversations going. And even if the call's just to get somebody to coffee for a face-to-face conversation, start these conversations. This is what sales is all about. Stop hiding behind WhatsApp. Stop hiding behind your email. It's passive. It's too passive. You got to make some changes, and you got to make some impactful decisions today. Go and do it.